Alright, welcome back to Adventures with Vehicles. I'm Joe. Today we are going to be working on a 93 GTR. Somebody started to put a wide body on this car and they drilled some holes in it. There's some dents and some holes I'm going to try to fill in and smooth out without any body filler. Well, minimal body filler. There'll be some little bit, but next to none, hopefully. So we'll get you a look at what it looked like before and then we'll show you what it takes to fix it. Alright, you can see right here there's a hole with a little bit of a dent. Right there's a little bit of a dent, so I'll just take a hammer and dolly, smooth that spot out. Then up here, this one's going to be the tricky one because it's aluminum. So I'm going to have to TIG weld it and I'm going to have to get these dents out. I don't know if you can see how raised they are, but I'll have to fix those. And this goes on like every quarter panel on the car. This one's will be fairly simple, just a minor little bit of hammering to get this high side down and bring this low side up from where it looks like they pulled the screw out. And then on the steel side, this is the worst one of them all. It looks like it was pulled straight up and out. I'll have to hammer this side down and bring this low side up before I can weld this up. So I'll body work it, remove the paint, then weld. It's a real clean car. It's one of my buddy's cars. He doesn't have a welder, so I want to help him out. He helps me out a lot, so get his car taken care of for him. She's going to put her hand to the backside and hold the dolly up against this because I can't do both at the same time. And I'm going to have her put that dolly right up against this hole so I can pound this back in. This side right here, yeah.
This one?
Yep.
It's heavy.
Oh, I know they're heavy. Move that hand just a little bit if you can. Come down, right there. Push, press and hold, right there. Up.
Which way's up?
This way's up. Slow down. Up. Come down. Up. You're not over the hole.
Oh. Which way?
I can't see you. Come forward. Towards front of the car. Right there. Press as hard as you can against that quarter panel.
I can, as hard as I can.
Come up a little bit. Up and forward. There you go. Let's do it one more time. Go forward and up. Right there. Alright. Alright. Alright, now you can see that it just has a little bit of a downward pucker right here, which it had before from where they yanked the body kit off. But then you can also see that this car's been painted a couple times. So when I grind this, you'll probably see where it's been painted. And also it was starting to rust from where they broke the paint. So we'll address that, stop that, weld this up, and duplicate the same thing on the other side.
Get my arm in at all.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't get my arm. No, you have to go up high.
I don't know if I can. Is it on jack stands?
No.
Is it on the ground?
Yeah, it's on the ground.
I might have to sit in the trunk to get my arm in there. Because I'd have to shove my arm in there.
Let's see what you can do. See if you can get your hand in there without the dolly first.
Is this attached? Oh, no. Not that arm, I can't. Yeah. I can see. I know my arm ain't long enough to reach that far, but I'm pretty sure I can.
We'll try it again.
Where is it?
Up, right there. Hold it right there. Push up, right there, hold flat.
already sorry if I can't get my arm
That's
out
fine.
of here when we're done. So I don't know if I can.
That one didn't need much. Can you come back up again? Up, up, up. Lay flat up a little bit, about a 1/4 inch up. Right there. Press a little harder. Up a little bit. Up, up, up. Right there. Hold flat. Alright, take it out. I'm glad your arm's fitting there. I tried several different things. I tried hammers and everything else. Try to get back in there.
You know why? Because I can flex my arm.
Well, because why is your arm my arm? My arm's 3 times the size of your arm. Fat.
You have to hold my
See?
arm like that, sideways.
Yeah, that's why your arm fit and my arm didn't.
Well, you also said you can't bend your arm certain ways.
Well, I
too.
can't turn my arm upside down for very long, anyways. Since I messed
Basically,
it up.
Come around here and hold.
All right, I'm gonna clean this surface off right here so I can get a nice weld on it. And I use a wire wheel. Let me focus in on it. I just use a wire wheel because it's it's very little abrasive. It barely puts grooves in the existing sheet metal because Japanese sheet metal is real thin, so it's always fun to try to weld and fix. This quarter panel on this side only has a single coat of paint. I'll show you on the other side. I already did the other side, but when I weld it up, I'll show you how the other panel has been repainted before. But now that I got this nice and smooth, I'll weld this up slowly, and I might be able to get it in just one single tack. We'll try. And if not, I'll do it in 2. I'll try to do it with putting the less amount of heat into it as possible. When you're welding something like this, you don't want to just weld until you get shut. You just want to tack it, let it cool. If you can't put your palm on it, you're welding too fast. So I'll weld this up and seal this up and then make it flush and smooth and put some primer sealer on it, and then his body guy can take care of that. Like I said, this is my buddy's car. He's always doing me huge favors and stuff, so I'm going to take care of it for him. But yeah, you can see right here where that's blue with white over top of it. That's the primer where this quarter's been repainted before. So I don't know if there's been another accident or whatever, or it could have just been scratched or faded or something at one time. But we got this pretty much smooth. We got a little bit of a downward dent here, but it's not very large and it's not very deep, so I'm not going to worry about trying to hammer and dollar that out before I weld this up. And I'm using a Hobart welder. It's a 220 welder. It is a 187 and it's 185 amps. I'm using a 25-75 mixture, I believe it is, on argon. Yeah, 75% argon, 20% carbon. So on the front, the fenders are aluminum. I'm going to be using a little different material on that. Well, not material. I'll be using different welding gas. All right. I also covered the glass with a welding blanket, which I got at Harbor Freight. They're fairly inexpensive. You could probably pick one up for under 30 bucks. It's well worth it for when you're trying to cover glass, because when you're welding, the welding splatter will stick to your glass, and then you'll have little rust spots in your glass, and you don't want that. So poster board will do the same thing if you don't have it, or cardboard. You may be able to get away with using moving blankets. I use those a lot as well. Another neat trick to hold it in place is just get you a magnet. Put it to where you keep it from drooping down, and always make sure that you leave enough room so if you do grab it, you don't scratch the existing paint. you see I just put a little spot weld on that and I stopped. Now, when you're trying to spot weld something, especially on Japanese metal, it's real thin. So I always put a little spot, let it cool. And the trick is, if you can't put your thumb or skin within like a 1/4 inch of this and hold it there for a long time, it's too hot to weld for your next weld. That will cause warping. It will also weaken the metal by putting too much heat into it. So, or it can cause what's called an oil can effect, which you don't want as well. So, sometimes just take your time when you're doing this and just put a weld. It's always easier to start your next weld on top of the other weld versus the sheet metal. Because the sheet metal, it will burn away faster than that weld. So I always try to make my next point of contact is going to be on the weld itself, not on the sheet metal. Been a long time since I've used this. It's kind of dusty. Couldn't see through it very well. Yet again, I just put one little tack right there. My next one will be on this corner here on this side, and then I'll go back over to this corner and then back over. I mean, I could try to weld this all to one pass. If I could get a nice brass bar in there, I could probably do it that way from the back side, but I'm not going to try it because I don't have a second welding helmet for her to hold the brass rod for me. So I'm just going to, like I'm doing, just a little bit at a time. I'll fill it in, let it cool. I'll move the other side, come back, lightly grind this down. Minimal body work, hopefully. Well, Japanese metal. Well, thin metal. Even though I welded to this other weld, it brought a little bit of this weld. Like, it burnt the metal outward a little bit. So, hopefully, by just welding here next time, I can do it. And I'm going to turn my heat down a little bit, too, on the welder. See if that helps. Turn it down quite a bit. Put less heat into it, but we'll make sure we got plenty of material before we grind it down, and that we're keeping cool so we don't warp it. Yeah, you don't want to put too much heat into the metal. So I can get this little bit of a weld glowing a little bit maybe, but I'm not going to. But I'm going to just try to keep the temp as low as possible. Fuck. What? I got it. I got the hole all welded up, smoothed out, cleaned up, ready for primer. Did the same thing on the other side. Well, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. No reason to record that, and you guys just wanted to see me patch a hole in a piece of metal anyway. So, I got that all done. Always make sure you have a fire extinguisher when you're welding on a car, or water, or anything along those lines, because there was some stuff like this in the inside of the wheel well here, and it caught fire just from that little bit of tacking. That's what this is, fire extinguisher does. So always make sure you have a way to put out a fire, even if it's just water, fire extinguisher, air hose, whatever you have, so you don't burn your shop down or a car down. So we got this smoothed out and taken care of. Let me know what you want to see me work on next, and catch you guys on the next one.